On those nights, Maya woke with her heart running and sat at the edge of the bed, gathering breath. Rafi, not asleep either, would touch her back and not speak, because sometimes words are a cough that startles the animal in the room. Sometimes they would both go to the kitchen and drink water, as if they were training their bodies to absorb calm. On a Sunday morning, while she clipped a dead leaf from a plant, Maya caught her own reflection in the window. Her face looked like hers, older, yes, a road with more signs, but hers. She thought about a sentence from months ago, the one she hadn't said to Armin. My husband's name is Rafi, and I love him. The truth of it sat down beside her like a patient friend. She thought also about a different truth, that she had betrayed that love, and that nothing could make that fact into a different one. And still she could do the work a person does when they are sorry and wish to be better. It was not a dramatic thought. It was a recipe, a list, a set of small permissions in the other direction. Rafi wandered in, hair exploded by sleep. I dreamt we bought a goat, he said, opening the fridge. She ate the curtains and then apologized. That's a very polite goat. She wrote the apology in cursive. Maya laughed, the kind that unclenches her shoulders. We should get a normal pet first. Something that doesn't eat the house. Fish. My father would be pleased, she said. He used to bring home buckets of them. They stood with the refrigerator open, family folklore drifting between them like a harmless fog. The day looked ordinary, laundry, small groceries, the thick novel slowly surrendering on the coffee table. Maya felt a wave of gratitude so specific it made her dizzy. The lemon magnet on the fridge, the fact of a man who could be both wounded and kind, the plant unashamed of its dead leaf because she had clipped it and the rest of it was still green. Rafi shut the fridge and leaned his hip against the counter. Do you remember the list? He asked. Of easy things we forget? In my bag. She pulled out a folded paper, worn soft at the corners. She read, You pretend you like coriander because you know I love it. She looked up, smiling. Lies we tell for love. Small, renewable lies, he said. The honest kind. On the anniversary of the day, everything fell into motion. Maya knew the date without checking. She met Armin's eyes across a conference table during a team review and felt nothing more than a threaded mixture of gratitude and regret. He looked at her the way people look at a beautiful building constructed after a controversial teardown, with appreciation for what now stands and a shadow of what was lost. After the meeting in the hall, he said, You look well. I am, she said. Thank you. He nodded. I'm leaving the firm next quarter. Going independent. He smiled at the way her eyebrows lifted. Don't worry, I'm not asking you to come with me. I wouldn't, she said, then blushed at the bluntness. I mean, I'm happy here. I hope you make good rooms. That's the plan. He paused. I'm sorry, he added, surprising her. Not for all of it. For some of it. For the parts that weren't brave, just reckless. Me too, she said. They stood a moment in the ordinary hallway of adults who had made choices and were still making them, then walked in different directions. In the end, their marriage did not become a parable about punishment or reward. It became a house with a repaired wall you could find if you knew to look, and if you didn't, you would simply admire how the late light made a pattern on it. They didn't tell the story at dinner parties. They didn't make it their brand. They let it be one part of the true inventory of their lives, which included coriander, the sound of pages, and the way a goat might apologize in cursive in a dream. On an evening more than a year later, the city outside their window loosened into gold. Maya and Rafi sat with tea and the board game manual open, finally deciphering the rule about trading wheat for stone. The kettle whistled and stopped. The apartment hummed its mechanical lullaby. There was a quiet, yes, but it was not empty. It was full of the weight of things that had nearly fallen and had been set carefully upright, with both pairs of hands. What do you think, Rafi asked, is the opposite of cheating? Maya considered. Not fidelity, she said, surprising herself. Fidelity is the ground. The opposite of cheating is asking. Asking for light. Asking for touch. Asking for a story at the end of the day. He lifted his tea. To asking, then. She lifted hers. To asking. Outside, someone's motorcycle coughed awake. A neighbor's radio mumbled an old song. The fridge hummed its one note. The quiet hour held, not as a silence heavy with accusation, but as the sort of quiet a library holds, watched over, carefully tended, full of people choosing to stay.